What's up, everybody? Welcome back. Hope everybody's having a great day or night whenever you're watching this. I want to talk about Jaren Jackson Jr. because he might legitimately be the best defender in the NBA. He's having statistically like the best NBA season I may have ever seen. He's been a monster. Okay, we're gonna break down his season, particularly his defense. And yeah, so let's just do that. If you're new to the channel, please subscribe. And if you enjoy this kind of content, please like the video. But let's give Jaren Jackson Jr. some love. So we'll do his counting stats for offense, just get that out the way. 17 points, 6.4 rebounds, like 51% from the field overall, which is a career high, like 37% from three. So offensively, he's been very, very efficient. His best true shooting percentage of his career. Just been good on offense. But I'm here for the defense because he has been transcendent on defense this year. Some of these numbers haven't been seen in I don't know how long. He's averaging 3.3 blocks per game and about 1 steal per game. So you're looking at about 4 to 4.5 stocks per game, steals and blocks combined. That is tremendous to be able to do that. But the thing that I really think changed for Jaren, because his whole career, he's been a really good rim protector and things like that, and he's been a pretty good defender. His problem in the past was always his discipline, meaning his foul trouble. He would consistently get into it, averaging 3.5 to 4 fouls per game. This year, he's averaging a career low in fouls per game at 3. That's awesome. I wanted to see that discipline improve, and he's not jumping and hacking as much as he used to. Now he's playing more under control on defense, and it's reflecting in the box score because he's in the games more often. He's only fouled out 1 time this year in about 24 games. So, that puts him on pace to foul out maybe 3 times in the regular season total, which is pretty solid. For a guy that's protecting the rim and, having to be that guy that switches on to people and covering people, weak side help, all that good stuff. He's been awesome. And the discipline improving I think is the biggest key to it all, because he's always been able to move his feet. He's always been able to, block shots, but it's always been the foul trouble that's hampered him. He's had a total of 2+ steals or blocks in 20 out of the 24 games. So in 4 of the games that he's played, he had less than 2 steals or blocks combined. That's still really, really good. I think he's only had like 1 or 2 games where he didn't rack up either a steal or a block, which is still really, really tremendous. Got multiple games with 5+ blocks and 2+ steals. So, you're looking at 7 stocks right there, and that's in multiple games. He had a game just in blocks where he had 8 against the Atlanta Hawks. 8 blocks in 1 single game. Not many players in the NBA are getting close to that. So he had 8 against a good team in the Hawks. Or at least a solid team in the Hawks. That's pretty special in my opinion. Defensive rating wise, he's having the best season of his career at 102.4. I think he's like top 3 in net rating at like 11 point something. So they're 11 points better when he's on the floor, essentially is how I look at that. But the way I really like about his defensive rating is that he's first in guys that play 25+ minutes per game. So that means he is pretty much, the team is way better with him on the floor on defense when he's on the floor. For guys, I'm not going to count a guy that's playing 12 minutes because the sample size isn't as big. So he's playing more, and the defense is even better and better and better. He's the key engine to why the defense in Memphis is so good. You got guys like Steven Adams that are physical and they played hard, and then like Desmond Bane, Dylan Brooks getting scrappy, John Morant in the passing lanes. There's more guys that obviously you can list off, but he is the main central force, because this team without him this season was not very good. That's not to say that they wouldn't have figured it out or anything like that, but because he missed the first beginning part of the season and they started off pretty slow. He missed the first 14 games of the season. They started off 9-5 in that, which, it's good and it's okay, but I think for the Grizzlies standards, that's below where they thought they'd be. Once he's back, obviously now they're like a 1 or a 2 seed in the NBA, or not in the NBA, in the West, I should say. And they have one of the best defenses in the entire league. And he's the biggest reason why. He's got the highest block percentage of anyone that plays 20+ minutes per game. So the percentage of shots that he's blocking is astronomical. And when you have a rim protector like that behind you, that gives guys like Dylan Brooks, Desmond Bane, Zaire Williams, who just got back. There's Santi Aldama, Steven Adams, even. John Morant, just gives them more confidence to take some risks here and there because they know Jaren's got their back. And, when you have somebody that's sitting back there waiting to protect the rim, it makes you feel good as a defender. It makes you want to get up into people's jerseys. It makes you feel like you can take some chances and really apply yourself on that end because you got somebody behind you that's going to clean it up for you. So that's what I think is his value is astronomical in that point, especially. He's 3rd highest in the NBA in defensive win shares. And I think Joel Embiid is first. That's an MVP guy. And then number 2, I think, is actually Dylan Brooks, who is on his own team. So, I mean, I think Dylan really benefits more from Jaren than Jaren does from Dylan. It's not to put down Dylan, but that's my personal opinion. That's just how I look at it. One of my favorite things about him, though, because I love continuing this blocks thing, because I love bigs that protect the rim and get after it and do not quit on that. He's top 3 in blocks, and he missed 14 games. Top 3 in total blocks for the entire season so far, and he missed 14 games. That is insane. The 2 guys that have more total blocks than him is Brook Lopez and Nick Claxton. Brook has a total of 103. Nick Claxton, who's been really, really damn good too, has 96. Jaren's at 81. Okay. So now let's go to the minutes played between these 3 people, and we're going to see just how big the gap is in terms of, who's really, really more impactful. So Brook Lopez has played a total of 1,215 minutes for his 103 blocks. Okay. Still really, really good. Nick Claxton's played about 1,048 minutes for his 96 or whatever that number was. Jaren Jackson Jr. has played 657 minutes. He's 400 less minutes, 600 than Brook, and he's only 20 blocks behind. That is, I'd rest my case. That's defensive player of the year kind of stuff right there. His offense I think is really feeding off of his defense. He's having a career year offensively in terms of the efficiency and just true shooting, things like that. Overall from the field, he's just having a career year kind of all around, in my opinion. He's healthy again. He had that surgery in the offseason, I believe, missed the first 14 games, whatever that was. And now he's back. He's healthy, and his team is rolling. They're the 1 seed in the West with an 8-game win streak. And obviously, Ja Morant's a big part of it. I know he missed the last couple games. They kept it up because Tyus Jones is a monster and the best backup point guard in the league, in my opinion. And then, guys like Jaren, Dylan, Desmond Bane, Adams was on a just tear for rebounds for a good couple of weeks. But I really think that Jaren, if he keeps this up, stays healthy, keeps the discipline in check, he might set a record for blocks per game or per minute, however you per minute played, whatever you want to go with, because it's all over the place. And, he's still getting in passing lanes, pickpocketing. It's just awesome to watch. If you want to watch great defense, I would always say start with Anthony Davis, but given now that, AD's not even playing, Jaren Jackson Jr. he's reaching that level, and he might have even surpassed it. Maybe he's at that level. But I think he's well on his way to earning a defensive player of the year this year. All he's got to do is stay healthy, keep up these numbers, keep up the impact. When you're having games with 5 blocks, 2 steals, 8 blocks and a steal, 6 blocks, 3 steals, 4 blocks, 2 steals, just over and over and over again, it is impossible to not fall in love with. So I think NBA fans, if you want to watch defense, watch Jaren Jackson Jr. It's special every single night because you're going to see at least 2 or 3 highlight plays on defense. And you can't say that for every other team in the league to even have that per game. So I love what he's doing defensively. Let me know in the chat, do you think he's going to be defensive player of the year? Does he have your vote as of right now? I think that's more important as of right now because we don't know what it's going to look like in 3 months. But I think for the games that he's played, the impact he's had, the counting stats and everything, Jaren Jackson Jr. right now, I think, is first place for defensive player of the year as we're about halfway through the season. So we'll see how that finishes. Let me know who your candidates are. Who's in your top 3 for defensive players of the year? Because I feel like this award kind of gets slept on until the end. You get guys like Bam and Marcus Smart that say, oh, I'm the best. I deserve it. And then there's guys like Jaren that are quiet and just go out there and dominate that side. I prefer to lean more towards those guys, to be completely honest. So, yeah. How do you feel about the Grizzlies season so far? 8-game win streak, first in the West. This is one of the 4 teams that I thought was going to be a serious contender. I'm glad that they're living up to it. Ja Morant's back healthy. They just got to, stay healthy for the final half of the season, get into the playoffs, and we'll see what happens. But Jaren Jackson Jr. has been special, and don't forget it. Anywho, if you're new to the channel, please subscribe, and if you enjoy this kind of content, please like the video. Give Jaren some love. Vote him to the All-Star teams. Do whatever you got to do. All NBA defense. He is locked in for that. I rest my case. Thank you for watching. I'm done here. Peace.